Hey, I'm Sam Harris with Hutson Inc. We're located in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm here with Mr. Stephen Gurr with the Mantis. We'd like to start with what really sets this machine apart from our competitors.
Sure, there's a lot of talking points on that, and when it comes to the Mantis and what sets us really apart, I personally can think of several things. Number one is we're made in America. We're made down in Seguin, Texas. Second of all, I can think of our dealer network. We have a nationwide dealer network of servicing dealers who are very knowledgeable on our product line. They've got parts support, they've got tech support. Additionally, when I think about what sets us apart, we have a concierge service. What's a concierge service? A concierge service is a group of our engineers that will travel to your agency once the unit has been delivered, and will provide operator training and service tech training. What that does for us and for the agency is, for us, it reduces the warranty and downtime because we're properly training the individual on how to operate the machine. For the agency, it gets them a better confidence of how to operate the machine. They're able to put maybe an unseasoned operator in the machine and get him up to speed quicker.
Hey, Mr. Steve, what are some good options and features that this machine has as well?
One of the biggest features that I like is the rotating cab. It's a 180-degree rotating cab. It'll rotate from the right to the left or the left to the right, and it's infinitely variable. That gives the operator the ability to, number one, see what they're cutting. They can swing the cab over to the right and look straight down at that boom. If they're using the machine for snow removal, they can center the cab and look right down at what they're blowing and where that debris is going. We also offer a left-hand boom. So this rotating cab gives the operator the ability also to swing it over to the left side and see what they're doing with their left-handed boom. Another option, though, that we have developed in-house is what we call our wide area mower. Our wide area mower is a flail mower system. It incorporates a front flail, it incorporates a right flail and a left flail, and it's a hydraulically driven system. So what that means for the operator is that they can actually mow with one wing up or one wing down. They can maneuver it in and around posts and street signs and areas that there may be obstacles. The neat thing about that too is that you can actually take that whole system off, whether it's the boom or whether it's the wide area mower, but you can take it off and actually install in about 6 to 8 hours either the boom or the wide area mower. So this machine really becomes an all-season multi-use piece of equipment. It's not just a prime mover that's got a boom on the side of it and a front hydraulic system. We incorporated and designed this machine so that agencies that didn't have the budgets that some of the larger cities have were able to make a purchase and justify the cost because this machine would do more than just one or two things. My boss has always said this is a Swiss Army knife of prime movers. And I believe that to be true. We've tried to make this machine as user-friendly as possible with as many components that can be utilized in an agency setting.
Mr. Stephen, would you mind to tell us a little bit about the cab of the Mantis today?
Sure, I'm glad you asked me that, Sam. If you would, we can walk on around here. I kind of like to take a look at it from the front visual. As we look at this cab, one of the things that sticks out to me that we're really proud of is that this cab will rotate left to right 180 degrees. Inside here, if you look inside the cab, you're going to see that there is a operator seat and then there's an instructor seat. Why is that important? For me, that's important because of the amount of turnover we see in a lot of agencies these days. So what that does is that allows you to have a seasoned operator sitting in the instructor seat next to a new operator. Gives that operator the ability to feel more confident because of the instructor sitting next to them.
Mr. Steve, while we're at the front of the machine, do you mind to tell us a little bit about the front hitch and the hydraulics up here?
Sure thing, I can. First off, we're running high flow hydraulics, approximately 50 gallons per minute, and that can be varied down depending on the front attachment you're using. Something that we stand out from a competition on is that we have a 4,500 pound lift capacity. That's more than what other prime movers in the industry currently offer. We offer a universal skid plate hitch as well, and also a PTO option.
Mr. Steve, could you tell us about some of the different steering options and the tire sizes or different tire options that come on this machine as well?
I sure can. So let's start out with the tire options. All right, so what you see here is what we call our BKT flotation tire. While both tires that we offer, the Mitos and the BKT, perform very well on road, these are also designed more for, in my opinion, more of a slushier or a wetter environment. They have a little more of aggressive tread on them, and so your ability to climb in and out of some of those areas that may be a little more muddier, it's a little easier to do in my opinion with these. The other option we have is our Mitos tire. It's a wider tire with a lower profile, and it is really designed to decrease the compaction that you may find on soil. But again, both tires are ideally made for on-road applications. As far as the steering capabilities, we traditionally offer the two-wheel steer, but we also offer a crab steer, which for me is great if you do get into one of those sticky environments and you need to get out. You can turn the wheels, they go in the same direction, and ease yourself up on out of a rut or muddy pond or muddy hole that you may be stuck in. And then the four-wheel steer, what I really like about the four-wheel steer is if you're a traditional tractor operator and you've had to do those three-point turns to get around in a small narrow road, you won't have to worry about that with this. This thing will turn, well, in my opinion, it'll turn on a dime. That's the word some people use, but really the ability for it to turn around in a single lane road is surprising. In fact, if you set the boom out, you can almost do it a zero turn. I think it's little over 11 feet turning radius. Every time I get a tractor operator in here, they're so surprised about how sharp the turn is on this machine.
As we work our way around to the cab, do you mind telling us a little bit about the joystick and the features here and how we get into it?
Sure thing. You know what? Our safety people really love me for this. So we got 3 points of contact with this machine. You've got your step, you got the door, you can safely transfer inside the cab. Look at that. Look at the room you got in here. All right, so one of the things that I really like about this is we designed this joystick system for the novice, the experienced, and the guys that think that they are. One of the things I really like about this cab and the software that we've integrated into this machine is our joystick. So with the joystick, we give the operator the choice of a slow moving joystick, fast moving, or your normal, which is our traditional operating speed. For us, I guess one of the things that I think about with that slow option is that if you've got an experienced operator sitting here and a younger guy here, and he's moving this joystick around in the slow, chances are he's less likely to hit anything or damage something. As he moves into a more experienced role, he can transition that joystick option into a fast option, and it's all done at the press of a button. You'll notice on the screen here, we've got what's called 4 different quadrants or 4 different visuals that you can see. You can see the camera, you can see the steering mode that you're in, as well as the engine and RPMs. Everything on this screen, on this side is touch screen. Also, you can manipulate the buttons to conform to how you like as far as your operating preference.
Hey, Mr. Steve, would you mind to tell us a few options on the rotary head we have here, as well as the options on the boom for this Mantis machine?
Yeah. So we have 3 different boom options. We have our traditional 24-foot. It's a telescoping boom. It'll telescope just over 2 foot. We also have a 28-foot. It's called a straight stick. It doesn't telescope, so it's 28 foot. And then we also have what we call our 30-foot telescoping boom as well. And that again, telescopes in and out about 2 feet, a little over 2 feet. It's a turret design. It gives the operator 180-degree rotation with the boom. We actually use a hydraulic cylinder underneath, not an electric over hydraulic cylinder as some other companies do. One of the things too underneath here is we use stops. So you'll hear sometimes operators say, I'm concerned about hitting the cab or the back of the cowling. With those stops, you're able to swing this right up next to the front tire, about 6 inches, and you're able to stow it in the back on the stow without worrying about hitting the cowling. So for me, that is a game changer for a lot of people. But as we talk about the boom itself, we'll get down here to the cutting heads. Now what you got here is our 60-inch rotary head, but we do offer this in a 50-inch with a blade pan. We do also offer it in a 50-inch blade bar, which is what you'll see on the 60-inch here. We also offer a variety of flails as well, so 60-inch and 48-inch. We also offer the traditional fixed tooth 50-inch cutting head. We offer a ditch maintainer. Really, the ditch maintainer, I want to point out, because sometimes guys get over ambitious and they think they're making new ditches. Really, a ditch maintainer is designed to clean out some of the runoff off of fields and stuff that will oftentimes fill a ditch canal. The ditch maintainer is really designed to slew that material back up into the field or back up against the tree line to allow for better drainage. Okay. We offer what's called a buzz bar. A buzz bar is offered in a 2-blade, 3-blade, and 4-blade option. And really, if you can imagine big, large circular saw blades, those are traditionally offered to agencies that like to have a cleaner cut when they're cutting a tree line. In comparison to your rotary that some agencies will use, a buzz bar will really clean it up. Let's think about a couple other things here. They do offer as well what we call a timber cat. Now, the timber cat isn't sold very often, but the timber cat is a sickle bar style cutting head, but it's really used traditionally to cut larger limbs at a slower pace or a slower rate. And something we just recently introduced is our grapple. So we offer a 360 rotation grapple. It's a great combination. It's a great pairing because you can really reach down into some of those areas, grab a big old clump of limbs and trees and position your truck in the right spot, and you can dump that in the bed of a big truck. Something else we didn't talk about is the quick hitch. We offer a quick hitch system for all of our cutting heads. What's unique about that is it takes all of about 10 seconds for the operator to hook up to that, to unhook from that cutting head, drive the prime mover forward, and connect to a secondary head in about 10 minutes, hook up the hoses, and be on their way. For me, what I see a lot of times when agencies don't have that option is it's a 2-man job, can take a half an hour. You're bringing a pickup truck out with different heads, and it just adds to the workload. I might point out why we're talking about extra heads. For me, I've seen agencies, they'll run forklift, pallet forks, some people call them, but they'll run them on the front with with a skid plate, and then they'll strap like their alternative head or their secondary head onto the front. So it's one guy, he goes out and he's mowing the tree line or he's cutting the ditch bank and he's got to clean it up. Maybe he's got a mulcher on the front or he's got a buzz bar, and he'll back up off of that skid, that pallet, and he'll disconnect, come back and connect to that, and he's able to cut that and clean up what he needed to do, and then put everything back the way it is. Really unique. So as we're talking about this too, I want to talk a little bit again back about the front hydraulics and the 3-point hitch and the PTO. We offer this with a universal skid plate, or skid hitch as some people call it. So that opens up the ability for an agency to use some of their skid steer attachments, whether it's a broom, maybe even a snowblower, or a blade application. With that feature and the 4,500 pound lift capacity, you can really carry a heavy load, whatever that happens to be. Again, third party attachments. We're working on developing our own. But in the meantime, if you've got a customer that's got a third party attachment, have them reach out to you and reach out to me, and we'll determine if that product will fit on our skid steer and 3-point hitch application.
Mr. Steve, do you mind to talk a little bit about the left-hand boom application as well as the wide area application that this machine offers?
I sure will. So we're proud to say we're currently the only manufacturer that offers the 180-degree rotating cab, as mentioned before, but also the left-hand boom option. So we just recently sold some to the DOT. Their restriction and what their project was for us is they said, we want to be able to mow from the left side and not traditionally from the right side. So we developed the exact same boom, our 24-inch telescoping boom, our 28, and a 30-foot. And really what it involves is removing the counterweights, the valve body, and the boom. And again, you can do that all in about 6 hours and replace it with a left-hand boom. It's the exact same boom, left side, okay? Now, we talked about the wide area mower just a second ago. We have developed, and at this point, we're the only ones that are offering it, a prime mover that incorporates a wide area mower option. As you see here, there's plenty of room in between the engine and the cab. We're able to take this system off, as mentioned earlier, in about 6 hours and put on a 23-foot wide area mower system. So what you're looking at here is two 8-foot wings, roughly 8 foot, 96 inches, as well as a front flail as well. So what you have there then is two hydraulic wings and a hydraulic front flail system, and they're able to operate this machine in and around obstacles. The great thing about this too is that when it's folded up, we're still within our 102-inch width, so you're not having to haul a wide load sign around when you're taking this from your county shop or your DOT district out to where you're going to use it. So, speaking of hauling, we actually run this machine at 25 miles an hour down the road. It's fast. In the work mode, it's 8 miles an hour, and which is variable, obviously, 0 to 8 and 0 to 25. The neat thing that we've done with our partners that built our pumps and valves and all of that is we worked with them to create a system so that when this machine starts to go up a hill, it senses that in the computer system and it adds more torque to the wheels to keep that machine moving forward without slowing it down like some of the other hydraulically driven prime movers.
Working our way to the back of the machine here, Mr. Steve, do you mind to tell us a little bit about the serviceability of this machine?
Well, I'm glad you asked me about the service. So one of the things we thought about when this machine was being designed and developed was not only the operator comfort and ability to use this machine easily, we wanted to be able to make the serviceability just as easy. And so one of the things that we did was we incorporated a electric over hydraulic cylinder on this machine. It raises this cowling up, I want to say it's about 80 degrees. Plenty of room for a service tech or even an operator to walk around and check all the fluids and fittings and all of that. So as we bring this up, I want to point out right here, for example, all your hydraulic filters are located right here. You don't have to get on a ladder or any of that to check them or to change them out, right? You move across here, same thing, your filter, your dipsticks are right at eye level. As we walk around here, on this side is your oil filters and your oil fill right here at ground level. Something else to think about too on this machine, we incorporated a master disconnect switch. So if you leave this out at the out in the ditch bank, or you leave it out at the end of the day rather than transport it back to the shop, you can disconnect this, take the key with you, and feel very confident that nobody's going to get inside this cowling without really damaging something in order to get to it. Okay? Now, something else. If for some crazy reason you leave something on and it runs the battery down at night or over the weekend and you come back and you can't start this machine, when this cowling is down, we actually have a positive plug here, and then you can connect your ground, your battery jump cables to the chassis and jump start this machine so that you can get in it and service it and charge the battery up and all of that. So we don't leave you hanging, you know? So anyway, those are important parts that I believe from a service standpoint. Easy access, not only because of the electric over hydraulic cowling, but also easy access because everything's at ground level.
Mr. Steve, I appreciate you coming out today and talking to us a little bit about this Mantis product. Is there anything you want to add, such as purchasing on governmental contracts and stuff of that nature?
Sure. First off, we are on the Sourcewell contract. That contract actually renews this year. And for our folks down in Kentucky, we're on the Kentucky contract as well. So those for us are very important. You know, we start to talk about any other things that I'd like to add. And at the end of the day, I've tried to cover as much as I can on this machine, but there is a lot of features and benefits on here that I'm sure I missed. But I would encourage everybody to reach out to you, Sam, or reach out to their Hutson representative and take time to visit with you about the machine, and then maybe set up a demo as well, and we can bring the machines out, or they can come by and we can work with them and show them why we believe we've got a better machine than anybody else on the market today.
Awesome, I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.